All right, welcome back everybody to part 2. This is a real talk, and my title says same-sex marriage doesn't bother me. And I'm using this title because I know it'll get many people's attention. This is part 2. And I'm not going to let up in this video either. So to the haters, to the ones who got a problem with the Bible, don't look at this video, because it ain't going to do nothing but make you even more matter. But I want to use this title as the Most High laid this in my spirit. And big shout out to everybody who caught part 1, as we thank our Heavenly Father for another blessed day. And I thank the Most High for all of y'all. Let's keep each other lifted up in prayer. Now, part 1, we talked about how they done legalized same-sex marriage, and how so many people got a problem with it, but then how so many people don't have a problem with it. And I'm here to say this as a true believer in the faith. You should be angry at a lot of stuff right now, but you should have already been alert and on watch, been focused on what was to come. But the reason I'm saying it like this, because so many that call themselves Christians have been remaining silent on so much stuff, even in the churches, not all, but done been so quiet for so long. Now you act like you're angry at things. But to the true believers, the reason I'm saying it like that, as a true believer, it makes me pissed off at these so-called church folk, religious folk, who keep their mouth quiet, but you know what they do? Gossip behind closed doors. Talk about everybody and everything behind closed doors instead of addressing it. Now, back to this title. Same-sex marriage doesn't bother me. Well, how many times do you hear people say, man, as long as ain't nobody messing with me, I'm good. I ain't worried about the homosexuals. I ain't worried about the drunks. I ain't worried about the whores and all this stuff, as long as they don't mess with my house. Well, catch what I'm saying in this video. A lot of people say that it don't bother me about what's going on. Now, I'm reminded of something, Lord rest his soul, that my old neighbor used to say. He used to tell me, JT, drunk people don't bother me. Until one day, this drunk man was so drunk, he drove drunk, and he ran over and killed my neighbor's son. Killed him on the freeway. After that, my neighbor said drunk people he had a problem with. He did. He used to say men that rape people didn't bother him as long as he didn't touch their family members. Until one day, one of his daughters was raped by some stupid man. She wasn't nothing but 13 years old. Took her virginity. But he used to say that the rapist didn't bother him until his daughter was raped. He used to say that drugs wasn't his problem, so he wasn't concerned about drugs in the neighborhood until his nephew got hooked on drugs and OD'd. What's your point, JT? People don't understand how they sin affect other people and how it will mess up a society that you don't think is hurting. When you don't think something is hurting, it's really hurting worse than you think it is. He used to say that the homosexuals didn't bother him. He had no issue with homosexuals as long as they didn't mess with him or come at him that way. He said they didn't bother him until one day he found out his younger brother was turned out in the church by two men who invited him in and showed him what homosexuality was all about. See, I remember in the old video I did, I was talking about homosexuality in the church. And one man used to say, well, I ain't worried about it, man. Let it be like it is. He had no problem with the homosexuals until he let his young son go off to one of them little old, what you call them, little gospel groups, and they went to one of those workshops and things, and then he wondered why his young son came back turned out. He came back liking men because that's what he was exposed to. See, the real reason I'm doing this video too is because of the children. I hate to see these children, these babies who are innocent, precious, to have all these questions like they have now because two lesbians are raising the daughter, or two homosexual men are raising a boy to try to grow up and be a man who's going to be confused as hell. Once you get exposed to this stuff, and that's what you brought up in, 9 times out of 10, that's what you're going to become. Not saying everybody going to turn out that way, but y'all, we have to understand this is a demonic spirit that you cannot fight with no guns in your hands. No, the only weapons that's got to fight has got to be the Holy Spirit. And once again, this is what the Most High called abominations. I don't care how people want to change it up and all this stuff they saying that is right, and you got the Queen James Bible out now. Y'all see what I'm talking about. If you think I'm lying, Google it. It's a Queen James Bible. I did a video about that a long time ago because the homosexuals wanted their own Bible. The scriptures wasn't right in the King James Bible according to them, so they switched the scriptures around to make it fit their lifestyle. So to say that same-sex marriage doesn't bother me, see, I'm going to say it again, same-sex marriage does bother me. The drunk man does bother me because the drunk man might kill somebody in my family next. The ones that's getting so high and out of their mind don't know what they doing, they do bother me. Because that's somebody's child that they murder. The murderers that's murdering these children, now it does bother me. I don't care what the sin is. It bothers me as a true believer because you don't know what's going to hit next or how it's going to hit next. It's okay to be angry, but sin not. To walk around and say that things don't bother me like that until it knocks on your front door. When it hit your house, oh, what do you say then? These babies are so exposed to everything now, so many things now. Some of this stuff we ain't have to deal with growing up, y'all. Well, JT, I hear you, but it don't harm me, bro. Well, there's more than one way to look at how someone is being harmed. It's different ways because you could be harmed physically. You could be messed up and harmed emotionally. You can be harmed spiritually, which is what a lot of people are dealing with now, or spiritual harm. You could be harmed financially, so on and so on. So many ways to be harmed. See, marriage is also a moral issue, and it does affect a society. See, you cannot recreate what the Most High have already put in place, which is man and woman, husband and wife. If you try to do something like redefine marriage, then what does that say? Redefining morals. You see legal and moral issues attached to marriage. So if you try to redefine marriage, then you causing a huge mess in your society. Now you ain't got to agree with me on everything I'm saying. Just look at what's going on. Look at what's happening. Look at how these children now are saying, "Mama, it's okay for two women to marry each other." A young girl told me at the food bank one time, "I see my mama kissing her girlfriend." The Most High put it in place for a child to have both parents, not men and not women and women with each other. Sometimes I wish it could get all the way like it was back in the day. If it wasn't a father around a village, it'd take a village to raise a child, we used to say. But now babies are having babies. Well, JT, I hear you, dog, but hey, man, that don't affect me, man. I'm a grown man, man. As long as they ain't messing with my family. So you telling me if a grown man would sleep or rape your 8-year-old daughter, that wouldn't bother you? Or that won't bother you if it happened to somebody else's daughter? As long as she done said yes, 8 years old, 5 years old, pedophiles out here all over. It don't bother you that a pedophile is still running loose and looking for the next one, looking for a child that's being molested almost look like every 2 minutes in America. That don't bother you. Now since these homosexuals have their rights, you know what else can happen? The homosexuals, they can sue people who are exercising their religious beliefs. Y'all, I'm just talking about what's real. Let me make sure the clock's still going. And then you look at diseases. Now I know AIDS, HIV comes in more than one form. But if you do the homework, look at how many down low brothers, most men that get out of prison now, folk is walking around here giving other folks AIDS. Many men that have been gay. I told y'all growing up, that's the worst thing I saw. When one of the closest brothers we was with told everybody he had sickle cell anemia. He died with full-blown AIDS. Caught it from his male lover. And I watched him on his deathbed, and his final words, he told me, don't ever be gay. Don't ever go like I'm going. He said, I lied to everybody. I really got AIDS. He got so skinny, and they didn't give him that much longer to live, and he died just like that. That disease took his body out. He said, treat women right, love women. I'd never forget that. But AIDS come through this mess. And some of these brothers on the down low giving it to their wives who didn't even know they was on the down low. Because men that you think ain't gay now is gay now. And can look manly. They ain't got to have on lip gloss and twitching and you know, wearing all this stuff, tight jeans. They can look manly. And you wouldn't even know they was gay until they told you they was gay. Getting women and marrying them and giving it to them. Knowing that some of them got AIDS. Y'all. But like I said, I know there's more than one way to get AIDS. Through the needles and all this other stuff. Man, but I'm just speaking real. If you do some searching, it will show you how a lot of this stuff is being transferred through homosexuality with two men. See, this is another form of population control. Because two men can't have a baby. Two women can't have a baby. But you got all this technology and all these pills and all kind of stuff to do all kind of stuff with now. When you see abortion, when you see birth control pills, when you see same-sex marriage and so many other things, all this mess, this is all a part of population control because they tired of babies coming into this world in the first place. The New World Order, do you see it? You talking about this don't bother you or it don't affect you. Don't you know when the government changes laws, everybody is affected? Everybody. That's why you don't depend on the government. This world system, as Brother P.P. Jones talked about in his videos. If you're not in the Most High system, way of doing things, man, you're in bad shape. You better look at what we living in. That's why he say be in the world, but not of the world. This ain't even a marriage with two men and two women. That ain't no marriage. Worldly marriage, if you want to call it. The reason why I say that because the Most High designed a covenant. That's a covenant that cannot be broken. He didn't make a covenant with two men. He didn't make an agreement with two women. A covenant is just simply an agreement that no man, no woman should be able to break up. So once you allow a man with a man or a woman with a woman, you don't went against the Most High's covenant. So preachers that want to marry folk like this, you got to give an account for that. I was talking to this homosexual guy the other day. He was telling me how same-sex marriage is a civil rights issue. He said we supposed to have our rights. And he was cool, very intelligent. But I had to say, brother, you know what? You way out left field and you're wrong. And you want to use the Bible to justify what you're doing is right. How can you use the Bible that's going against what you're doing? He made a statement saying, we ain't no different than black people still marching and trying to get equal. And I said, you know what? I'm not black, and I'm not one of those black people that's holding up signs and marching trying to get equal with a bunch of folk who don't like me in the first place, because I'm smart enough to know this is not a physical battle that I can fight and beat. This is spiritual. This is demonic. This is spiritual warfare. And I know better than to get off on all this mess like I see a whole lot of quote-unquote black people doing. I don't even like to use the term black. Stop accepting what they called you. And I got to say this, because some of y'all was wondering about that comment on part 1. And I'm going to address this out in the open. Anybody that know me, when you attack me in the public, then I got to deal with you in the public. So if you can't stand the heat, you don't need to get in the kitchen. I saw that mess, and I'm going to try to wrap the video up after this. That old fool, that ain't nothing but a fool, man. Looking for attention, looking for somebody to get into it with. This fool came on my page and cussed me out. I hope you see this video here too, because I'm going to end this video saying this. Because you made a statement saying I'm an idiot and I'm using the Bible to try to tell folk how to live their life. And I need to shut my effing mouth. I'm going to keep it clean. I'm talking to you, 88 Crazy Legs 88. Your title alone shows me how stupid you are. For you to come on my page and want to front me out in the public. Well, like I said in the comment that I sent back to you, if you don't like my videos, don't look at it. You are truly an unbeliever. What I'm talking about ain't for you, because you know why? You won't accept it anyway. Your mind is already blinded. So next time you want to cuss me out and all that, think about it. See, the best way to address folks when they do you like this in public is an open rebuke. A lot of people don't agree with an open rebuke, but I do. Because one thing I'm going to do is stand my ground. I don't care who you are, what color you are, how big and bad you think you are. I'm from the hood just like most. I don't scare off easy. And I'm saying this out of love. You are a fool. Because what you said was stupid. So I say this, and you can get in line with the rest of the haters. That I got a long line. I got a line from her all the way to where my sister Focus on Truth stay at. So if you want to be that hater and keep on bashing on me in public, just jump on the bandwagon with everybody else, because I got a million haters that I deal with every day. But I have somebody who fight my battles for me. But I'm not weak. I'm not your term of meek. No. Meek does not mean weak. Y'all better get the Greek term of these words. I am a soldier. And a soldier don't scare off easy. As a matter of fact, I'm a warrior. So cuss me out all you want. Call me what you want. But don't think for 1 second I'm going to quit doing videos. And you can go back to your little pissed off, miserable life that you have. Because it's fools like you that keep me sharp on my toes every day. I need my haters. So I want to deal with you and lead it and be the bigger man and say, may the Most High bless you. And you thought I was going to cuss you out and all that stuff? No, the old me would have. I'm done with that lifestyle. I had to bury that fool because he would be acting just like yourself right now. So brother, if you don't like my page, don't look at it. And to my boy Kevin Drummond, don't let that dude get you down like that. I mean, he didn't get you down. I'm looking at you coming, but don't kick it back and forth with a fool like that, because he's stupid and childish. And big shout out to you, Kevin Drummond. Keep on standing on what's right, man. You show who you are as the grown man, the better man. That don't stoop that low down to fools levels like that, because it's a million of him out here and more, man. That's why I'm never silent about what's going on in this life. Never silent about it. So y'all, that's my time. I had to address that fool before I close this out, because that'll clear up some things that happened in the part 1 video. That's why I know my people on here, y'all, I know y'all be ready to attack. Y'all be ready to be like Peter with that sword and chopping that ear off, but it ain't the time for that. Let the Most High chop these haters down. I love y'all, and y'all have a blessed day, and we're going to keep each other lifted up in prayer. Y'all take care.